Alright, so today we're going to talk about one of those Parker slide type converters, or push type converters. You see they operate by putting your thumb there and then just pulling that bit up and down. A very nice, very simple type of cartridge that you can operate single-handedly. I like that. And recently someone approached me and said, well, mine is very hard to operate, I can hardly make this move. What do I do about that? And he had seen my video on how to lubricate a piston, a cartridge converter which you cannot disassemble. But in this this specific instance you would have a couple of issues with the techniques I show there. You could definitely put some silicone grease on a toothpick and try to put it on the inside of the ink reservoir, but the little ball agitator could get in the way, and it's just not a very easy thing to do. Now fortunately there's something you can do. What I recommend is you use something that will give you a good grip, especially the first time. You slide the piston about halfway in there, not all the way to the back, not all the way to the front, just about halfway back there. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be dead center. You grab that ink reservoir with one of your gripping things, and then you grab the other end, not at the very end, but at this black part, the seal part right there, with the other gripping thing, and then very gently you pull. And there you have it. That's really all there's to it. And you see a couple of things here. First of all, you have to be careful because there's a ball agitator in there, and that when you pull this out violently, this is going to launch. It'll fly across your room and most likely end up under a cupboard where it's very hard to reach. And you know what, if you lose this, it's not really an issue. You can use the converter without it. The only thing is that should ink get trapped near the top, then that ball agitator will break the surface tension, will make sure that the ink actually goes down to where you would like to have it, that is near the nib. So I would be a little careful with that. What you see is that there was some ink on there, so it's also a nice way to clean these things. Just grabbing a bit of that cloth here and wiping it off. Now what you want to do, this is really going to be a short video, I'll put that back in place. So should you dislodge this, don't worry, you can just put it back in. Where this opening is, you see that sliding, that's where the little knob goes into. Just slide it in there like that. Should be fine. You can't do it the other way around, so it's very easy, you can't get confused. Alright, now you take your silicone grease. There we go. And what you do is you put a little bit right there. There's a little rubber ring there which you may actually be able to pull off. I'm not going to do that because there's no need to do so. I don't have to replace it or anything. And put some nice silicone grease on there. I like how Parker uses a metal ball agitator, because sometimes when you do this with a plastic ball agitator it gets sticky from the grease and then it will sort of stick in one place in the ink reservoir, and clearly that's contrary to what you would really like to do. I'm also going to put some grease on this bit, so this is the end that goes into the section. Just put some grease there. That makes it a little easier to disassemble it next time because it's lubricated, the thing will slide off more easily, but it's also an extra seal against, you know, ink and air tightness, or for air tightness, whatever you like to call that. Alright, there we go. Now to put that back in there, whoops, that's the agitator. I always like to sort of, I'll show you this from the side, I like to sort of use a motion like that, so you push in that seal right there, there we go. And then this thing, make sure that the seal is pulled halfway back. That's just so that you won't crash it in there. Shouldn't really do any damage, but I find this the easiest way to do it. Click. Operates nicely and smoothly now. Move it a couple of times to make sure the grease is spread over the inside walls of the reservoir, and you're ready to go. And this stuff works really well. I was actually trying to put it on my finger. It doesn't have such a tight air seal. That's alright. But still, you see it actually draws quite, you know, draws a good vacuum. Very simple converters and very easy to maintain, as you've seen here. So, I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.